In life, not all knowledge is written in ink, and not all lessons are taught in a classroom or between the pages of a book. Some lessons life teaches us when it confronts us with ourselves, when we remain silent after a long argument, when we lose what we thought was unchangeable, or when we face our weaknesses. It is in these moments, stripped of all illusions, that we learn what no book could ever explain. Here are 3 situations from my life that taught me lessons I did not find between the lines, but discovered in my heart after living them. The first situation, when I lost something I thought I could never lose. I lived with the idea that attachment was proof of love, and holding on to things was a sign of loyalty. I resisted change, thinking that staying would be a remedy for pain. But life was more honest. It took away what I believed was part of me. And in the void left by this absence, I felt something I had never known before. A sense of calm, as if I were breathing for the first time. The lesson was not in the loss itself, but in what came after. I realized that some endings do not come to hurt us, but to free us from illusions, to gently tell us that it is time to grow, and that peace is not built through possession, but through acceptance. The second situation, when I made a mistake publicly. I used to fear making mistakes in front of others, believing that a misstep diminished my value, and that perfection was the only path to acceptance. Then I made a clear mistake in front of everyone. I fell, people talked, and I thought it was all over, but something strange happened. Nothing happened. The world continued, the sun rose the next day, and my heart kept beating. At that moment, I understood that mistakes do not destroy us, but free us from the burden of the image we try to maintain. I learned that those who acknowledge their mistakes live in truth, and those who accept their imperfections find peace. Perfection is not in never making mistakes, but in making mistakes with humanity and learning consciously. The third situation, when I stayed silent despite being able to respond. My mind was racing, and my tongue was ready to reply with all my arguments, but I chose silence. Not because I was weak, but because I no longer sought victory. I discovered that calmness is a rare strength, and that responding sometimes only increases fatigue. Silence does not mean defeat, but that you place your peace above the need to justify yourself, which in itself is a form of victory. I am sure each of you has an unforgettable moment. Share in the comments, what moment taught you something unforgettable? Today, when I look back at these situations, I smile. It is not a smile of satisfaction, but of gratitude, because I have realized that the knowledge that shapes us does not come only from reading, but from life, from experience, from pain, from silence, and from loss. Books open minds, but experiences open hearts. True maturity begins when we start to understand life not only with our minds, but also with our souls.